Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Kayla. I have a son named Shane who has autism. This is my space where I share everything I know in hopes of helping some of the families affected by autism. I want to share with you some of the most inspiring quotes that I have often gone back to and read when I was feeling like this autism struggle is so hard and I was just sort of giving up a little bit of hope and I needed a little bit of a push to get me back to my positive thinking. Very early on my son's diagnosis, I was upset that he wasn't going to be normal, which I know sounds terrible and I no longer feel that way at all. However, I wanted him to be normal so that life would be easy, so that he would be accepted, so that he would be okay when I wasn't here. It's just the truth, it's how I felt. But very quickly I realized that that thought process needed to be deleted and I needed to accept him exactly the way he is so that I could help him move forward. It was the only way to help him reach his true potential. While I was helping myself to accept that and to move forward, I came across this quote. Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. Reading that quote made me realize very quickly that my son's autism makes him an incredibly unique individual who thinks and acts completely different from most other people on this planet. And that in many ways is a gift. And that is the way that I now choose to look at my son's autism and who he is and who the person he is growing into. Our children are very fortunate to be unique and to be different. And they're part of this amazing group of people who offer a different way of looking and thinking and acting in this world. And that's something that many people will never have. After my son's diagnosis, I also struggled very hard with fairness. I had this thought that was constantly in my mind. It wasn't fair that kids didn't treat him nicely in the playground because he had autism. It wasn't fair that my only child was diagnosed with autism. It wasn't fair that there wasn't enough resources in Canada. I constantly felt like things were not fair and it was draining me of energy that I needed to take care of my son. I told myself this had to change and I started to talk to other moms and of course do some research online, and I really wanted to process out this negative thinking, and I came across this quote. As special needs parents, we do not have the power to make things fair, but we have the power to make things joyful. Reading this quote really reminds me that my number one job isn't to make things fair for my child, but rather to make them joyful, to make him happy, to make him live the best life possible with as much love and laughter and experiences that he can as an autistic individual. And these are things that I want him to carry on into his teenage and adulthoods, of course. So yeah, concentrate on making your child happy and joyful and forget about whether or not it's fair. I often felt like autism was consuming our life. And to be honest, once in a while I still feel that way. It's everywhere we go, you know. My son's autism affects every activity we do, whether it's a birthday party or going to dinner or going for a walk or doing homework. It is everywhere we go, and that's just the reality of it. But there were moments where I wanted to tell myself that I don't want to have to think about autism right now. Why is it everywhere? You know, autism is just such a small part of who my son is as an individual. And I came across this quote and I thought it was incredibly insightful and helpful for me. Autism is part of my child. It's not everything he is. My child is so much more than a diagnosis. Reading that quote is a very good reminder for me that my son is autistic, yes, but he is also so much more. He is handsome, he is smart, he is friendly, he is so loving, he is interesting. All these things are who he is as an individual and have nothing necessarily to do with his autism. This autism journey can be incredibly difficult at times, especially on us parents. And I like to refer to it kind of as a roller coaster because there's a lot of good times and there's a lot of bad times and it just kind of comes and goes. And you have to be always prepared for that. There were moments where I just felt like so exhausted and so tired and I really just wanted to give up, or I wanted somebody to tell me how to fix the problem. And honestly, that just never came. I was online one day on one of my, I think, mom blogs or something, and I read this quote and I thought, this is a really good reminder of what I need to do and how I need to prepare myself for this roller coaster that I'm on. Autism does not come with a manual. It comes with a parent who does not give up. I can't tell you how many autism parents that I have met, and this quote could not be more true. We are a tribe of parents who love our children, and we do not know exactly what to do in every single moment, and it does not come with a manual. Every one of our kids are so different. However, we just don't give up. And knowing that and reading that are two separate things, because you can tell yourself that, I'm never going to give up, I'm never going to give up. But sometimes you actually feel like giving up, and that is completely normal. So reading that quote, hopefully, like it did for myself, can remind you that we're not giving up. We're here to stick this out. We were chosen as autism parents because we never give up. The final quote I'll give you is a little bit funny, but it always puts a smile on my face, and I think there is a lot of truth in it. God created autism to help offset the excessive amount of boring people on earth. I've had a ton of conversations with autism families, and never, not once, have I heard them say that their loved one with autism is boring. My son Shane is the same. He is incredibly interesting, and he keeps me on my toes, and every single day I'm very grateful for that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope it can help you in those moments where you might be feeling a little bit down and you need a little pick-me-up. Reading these quotes really, really do help me. Thanks so much for watching. I post a video every single week, so subscribe to find out what I'm going to share next.